Samantha Boss here from theuglytruthofdivorce.com. You guys, I started this website to let you know all the ins and the outs and the ugly truths about divorce that your friends, family, and even your divorce attorney won't tell you. I'm here to share with you the 3 R's on picking your divorce attorney. The first R is references. Now, most of you think that going to Facebook and asking Facebook or any other social media, what's the best divorce attorney in town, is a great idea.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
You're wrong. Please refrain from doing this. There's so many reasons as to why not to do this I won't even get into. The best thing I can do is to take the time and the energy to do the work yourself. Pull in a couple close friends that know you, know your personality, and know your situation the best, and really just do some research. Ask yourself, do you want to take the time to get to know and research the person that's getting ready to help you through one of the most difficult times in your life? I hope the answer is yes. Once you've figured out 2 or 3, hopefully 3 or 4 attorneys in town, depending on where you live, of who you think could represent you, go for an interview. Ask for that free consult. I hope that they have offered that. It's a 30 to 60 minute free consult. During the consult, you're gonna ask many questions and have those questions wrote out and ready to go. Being prepared yourself will save you time and money through this whole process, and it starts with just the consult. You want to get to know your lawyer during that consult. You want to be prepared with questions and know where the answers are going to lead you through this interview. You want to ask the law office, how busy are they? What's their caseload like? Are they so busy they're not going to have time for you? And busy doesn't always mean good. It doesn't always mean the best. And a law office that doesn't have a lot of caseload also doesn't mean they're a bad law office either. You want to find the law office that works best for you. You want to pick a law office that specializes in family law. Do not pick a law office that has 3 separate or 4 categories that they work in. You want to focus just on family law. If your case has a special circumstance, you're a vet, or you have a child with special needs, you want to make sure that the attorney you pick has worked with this type of case before. You don't want your case to be their first time. So make sure you've asked the questions pertaining to your case specifically, and be sure that that attorney has worked with your type of case before. Let's move on to the second R, the retainer, the money.
Show me the money!
Let's talk about the money. The money is going to be one of your biggest struggles through this process. It just will be. How much money do you have? Are you sharing it still with your spouse? Do you have a savings account? Do you have credit cards? Because I hate to tell you, a law office will expect you to charge if you are not able to pay cash. They will, and you have to be prepared for that. Realize now, if it's going to get ugly, it's going to cost a lot. So, what's the retainer that this law office is asking for? Is it a large amount? Is it a small amount? If it's a smaller amount, I hate to tell you, they are going to burn through it pretty quickly through this process, and they're going to ask for a second retainer, if not payments on the monthly basis. Another question you want to ask is, how often do they bill out? If you're somebody that's living paycheck to paycheck, you're going to want to be staying on top of those payments. You don't want to get behind. How much are they willing to accept for a payment on a weekly basis or monthly basis? Is it large enough that it's also a car payment or a mortgage payment? Can you afford that? So be realistic when you pick a law office. What do they charge? What do they charge for? This was something I got blindsided by whenever I first started. And so I highly recommend read the contract front to back, ask to take it home, ask to see a copy, ask to take a copy with you, have it emailed to you, and read this forwards and backwards for a multitude of reasons. Number 1, to know what you're getting charged for, how often you're getting charged. You're going to get charged for phone calls, emails, texts. How much is that? How much is it when you talk to the lawyer versus do you talk to the paralegal? You're going to get charged for filing motions, sending the motions in, working on the motions, doing your discovery. If all of these words are difficult for you, let me know. I can help you through it. You're going to get charged for contacting the other lawyer, your spouse's lawyer. When they talk to each other, you'll be charged every minute they talk. You will get charged for things like working on your case for hours, and you got to know how much that is. You're going to get charged when they go to court. Now, I think blindly for me, I thought whenever they went to court that that's the only time I got charged. No, they are going to charge you for everything they do prior, which now looking back on it makes sense, but it's something I didn't realize when I was first going through this. You have questions after you've picked your attorney. Be sure to put a whole bunch of questions together before you just call every time there's a problem. You don't want one call with one question. You want one call with 6 questions. So put all of your questions together to save yourself some money. The last thing about your contract that you really want to look over is, how do you get out of your contract? When you do this interview and you look over a contract possibly during this interview, you want to ask, okay, honest question. Let's say you and I don't get along about week 4 or month 2 of this process. How do I get out of this contract? You want to know how to get out of your contract. That's really important because again, I went through 4 over a few years and getting out of each one was different. Okay guys, the last R, we're almost done, is relationships.
Well, you know, I have many relationships.
You are going to have a relationship with a multitude of people now. You're going to have a relationship with your lawyer, with the paralegal, with the secretary, and with the billing person. So be sure during this interview that you meet each of these people. You're also obviously going to meet your lawyer. You also want to ask if you can at least be introduced into your paralegal. You're going to deal with the secretary when you make the phone call anyway. So just start learning and absorbing the second you make contact with each office that you jot down special little notes, okay? The secretary seemed friendly. The paralegal, kind of grouchy. The lawyer seemed like she's really aggressive. And then you're going to have to weigh your pros and cons. So relationships with this office are really important. It's going to be your livelihood. What's their response time like? Are they real quick? This is something you ask in the interview. Do they get back to you right away? Do they make you feel heard? Do they make you feel comfortable? Or do they just blow you off till every Friday and then answer all of your questions? And again, it's all personality. What works best for you is how you pick an office, okay? If you're the type that can be okay with not getting return calls until 2 or 3 days later, then that's fine. If you want to do everything through email, where it's all typed out and documented, then you make sure that that office is really good about emailing. So really put forth in this interview what your expectations are. Because here's the last thing. They're working for you. Don't be intimidated. This is a lawyer. This is their job. You are paying them to do a job. So please, you're interviewing them. And I know when I went for mine, I felt like I was being interviewed. Like, am I a good enough client? Are they going to pick me? Are they going to say okay? Because again, this is the worst moment of your life and you're asking this person to help you, but you're also paying this person to help you. So please, please, please do the interviewing properly. You are the one seeing if they're a good fit. So make sure you say, these are my expectations. What is your follow through with that? What's the likelihood I will get all of my expectations met? Now going in there and say, can you win my case? They have to know the background, the information. They have to do a whole process, but make sure you're doing the work to interview and ask the right questions. Your references, do the work, do the research, interview, have it picked down to 2 people. Then that might be when you ask someone close to you that's been through this process before, hey, what do you think she was really like? Are you really happy with her service? Your retainer, really think of a game plan for money. Do you have enough to put down? Do you have enough for monthly bills? Do you have enough when the next round of retainer is requested for? Do you have somewhere you can get a second job? Do you have someone in your family that's willing to help you out through this crunch time of paying for this divorce? And then the last one is relationship. Make sure that the relationship that you have with all the people in the office is a strong relationship, but also I think this is the most important when it comes to the relationship part. How's the relationship with all 3, if not 4 of those people inside the office? Do you get a good vibe that the secretary and the paralegal work really well together? Does the paralegal and the lawyer work really well together? You can get a sense of that as you're in the building, when you make phone calls, when you're interacting with one another. You really want an office that just meshes really well because that's going to be a whole stress relief for all of you, okay? So please pay attention to those. The last thing, you guys, is go with your gut. Your gut is going to lead you the right direction, okay? Might not have led you to the right direction with the right spouse.
Both know that this marriage has been over for a long, long time.
But it's going to lead you the right direction with your lawyer, okay? Make sure you follow that gut. You're going to get an intuition when you sit in that chair across from your lawyer and you're asking these questions. You're going to be like, that's my person.
You had me at hello.
That's the person that's going to help me fight for my kid. That's the one right there. I just want to thank you guys for sticking it out with the 3 R's and a little bit of G, following that gut there at the end. And if you guys like this video, there's going to be one every week about the ugly truths of divorce. If you have a topic that you think I should cover, please throw that in the comments below. No topic is off subject. I'm willing to talk about everything and anything. I'm here to help. I have tons of resources at my fingertips as being a divorce mediator. I want to help people through one of the ugliest points of their life to make it easier. I wish I would have had somebody like me through mine, and I just want to help everyone. So please jot down any questions you have, send them to me. I'm here to help. Thanks, guys.